50 years ago this month, the future arrived in Savannah when the world's first nuclear-powered merchant and passenger vessel made its maiden voyage to its namesake city.
And next week, the city will commemorate the nuclear ship Savannah by placing a historical marker at the Trade and Convention Center. And joining us now from the Georgia Historical Society, Dr. Stan Deaton. Good morning.
Good morning.
And from the Savannah Ocean Exchange, Cathy Sackas. Hello.
How are you?
Good morning.
The City Council proclaimed the 22nd as Savannah Day, so we'll get that marker up there. It only took 50 years. That's okay. Who wants to talk about the ship first?
What do you want to know?
Well, Tim was saying earlier this was supposed to be the...
I guess it was believed at the time that this was going to be the new way of ocean travel.
And it was
a real fancy passenger ship.
The steamer ship was first, and then...
Yeah,
and
the
then
SS Savannah, of course, was the first steamship to cross the Atlantic in 1819, I believe. And this ship was named for that ship. It was not made here, it wasn't birthed here, but it was named for it.
And it came right up the Savannah River. Made its maiden voyage right up the Savannah River. There it is. How about that?
1962, on August 22nd. It came right up the river. Of course, Savannah looked a lot different at that time. That's the Talmadge Bridge.
Had a
the
different
old
bridge,
one. Yeah.
Give us an idea of the size.
I believe it was about 900 feet long, but it only carried, I think it had about 16 staterooms, so it carried passengers and cargo. And it ran for about 10 years, from 62 to 72. And I understand that it basically went out of business in part because it was not containerized, and container ships came in about that time, and it just wasn't profitable to run cargo or passengers. The crew, of course, had to be nuclear trained, so they had to be a little bit more pricey, I think, than other crews. So it was a marvel for its time, but it didn't last long.
Right. Yeah, and actually, it's something that not a lot of people in Savannah really kind of know about. It's something that is a significant part of our history, but wasn't celebrated the way some other things were.
It wasn't, and I've asked a couple of people that I know that were living in Savannah, or grew up in Savannah at that time, and my husband was one of them. He was 10 years old, and I said, well, what do you remember about the Savannah? And he goes, wow, it was a really big white ship. And he said he thought it needed color on it.
Right. And he was there, right, when it arrived?
Oh yeah, he was on River Street. His mother took him down to River Street to see it.
They said about 100,000 people lined the river to see it come in. So what happened to it? What was its history, or short history?
Well, it ran passengers until 1965. It ran cargo until 1972. It was shut down at that point. The nuclear reactor was shut down in 1975, so it's not active anymore, but it's still regulated by the Atomic Energy Commission, believe it or not, and it's sitting at Pier 31 in the city of Baltimore. It's had a lot of different homes. It's been here, it's been in Charleston. It's, I think, looking for a home now, but it's not in use anymore. You can tour it, but you have to contact the folks there.
But so the historical marker will commemorate its arrival in Savannah, and I guess it being named after our city.
Right, and the interesting thing is that this is 50 years when it was...
Exactly, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Next Wednesday will be exactly 50 years, and so that's why we've chosen that date next Wednesday at 5 p.m. right in front of the Trade and Convention Center. So,
and that is open to the public. The Propeller Club of Savannah will be providing a little reception afterward on that. There's also a documentary film.
Atoms for Peace.
Atoms for Peace, and that's being shown...
it's being shown at various times on Channel 8, the local government channel.
Okay.
And Michael Jordan did that documentary. Very good.
Okay, a few more dates in August when you can still see that, but the dedication of the marker coming up into all the history, lots of information online on that. Check it out. Appreciate it.
So much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Hutchinson Island isn't the only place you can learn about the NS Savannah. When we come back, we'll see how you can take a look inside the city's archives as well.